Here's the big question. Will it stay the same or transform into something completely different? In today's video, we'll find out what's going to happen in this area in the next 20 years. There'll be a bit of speculation as well, guys. Let's sit back and enjoy today's video. I think the first big talking point is the airport. You know, the airport is not an issue, but you know, at the moment, there's only so many flights going out of there. There's a few flights back to Bangkok, and they fly to Chiang Mai as well. So them two places. Now, hopefully for the future, and they're talking about, you know, hopefully getting a flights going down to Phuket, which would be awesome. Hopefully in the next few years this is going to happen. That's going to be great for you guys coming to Hua Hin. You know, in the future that airport is definitely going to expand, and then, you know, flights down to Phuket from there, because it's a bit of a long drive from Hua Hin all the way down to Phuket. I wouldn't want to hazard a guess, but it must be 8 hours. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but something like this to drive all the way down there. So to be able to get a flight down there would be fantastic. Now, there are flights to Phuket from Hua Hin at the moment. I looked this morning, but they're via Chiang Mai. So that's no use, is it? You fly Hua Hin to Chiang Mai, then back to Phuket. But yeah, in the future, this will definitely happen. I'm sure of it, guys. But let me get it right. It says, this is promoted as part of the Thailand Riviera corridor, tying Hua Hin to a wider coastal tourism and lifestyle region stretching from Phetchaburi, which is about an hour north of Hua Hin, to Ranong all the way south. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, and I totally agree. That part of the country from Hua Hin all the way down that coast is absolutely beautiful. It's lovely, and for sure that area is going to get developed so much in the next 10-20 years. I mean, I just believe that myself 100%, and they're saying they're classing it as the Thailand Riviera. So I think this will happen for sure. You know, I know myself. I mean, at the moment, Samboyard, you know, Prambury, all these areas south, Prachuap Khiri, they're relatively not that developed yet. Prachuap Khiri is quite developed, but some of the other areas, especially south of Prachuap, where I've just been actually, I went to a place called Bangkrut. It's quiet, beautiful, no tourists, but not developed. You know, there's not really much development gone on there yet. But whether you like it or not, I'm pretty sure that whole coast is going to get developed. And it is a fantastic area. I want you to come to Thailand and be able to explore that area from Hua Hin all the way down. I think it's a wonderful area, and it looks like they're thinking the same as I am. They're classing it as the Thailand Riviera, going all the way down that coast. And it is. I've explored it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And in future videos, I'm going to try and explore more, but sometimes I don't have time. I'm so busy doing other stuff at the moment. And the next thing they're classing it as, I love this. When I read this, I was like, genius. The city of happiness. Absolutely classic. So they're positioning Hua Hin as the city of happiness. A happiness center for all you guys coming over here to retire. And yeah, I get it. It is a beautiful place to come and retire. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, I rave on about this area, and I really believe, personally, I love it. I don't know why people come there and don't like it. I don't get it at all. It's peaceful. It's great coastline. There's a bit going on in the town. You got Western facilities there. You know, everything's going on there you need. There's decent health service. There's just decent everything there. I don't get it. Why don't some of you like it? I don't understand. So classing it as the city of happiness is just awesome. What did they say? Let me read what they said online when I read about it. It said they're positioning it as the city of happiness, building communities, orientating facilities, the happiness center, and encourage safety, education, sports, and citizen well-being. That was in Hua Hin today, I think I read online. Yeah, this sounds awesome, to be honest with you, and I think it is a happiness center. I love it there. It's a great place. I mean, who comes to Hua Hin and is miserable? I don't know. Have any of you guys come to Hua Hin and not enjoyed it? I mean, I think it's a great place to come. They're on about expanding and modernizing infrastructure, including the roads, water systems, utilities, and digital infrastructure under smart city frameworks. Okay, read that online too. Sounds cool. So yeah, just more modernization. I mean, this is pretty standard, I think, in every city in the world. They're always trying to develop it, trying to make it better, you know, the infrastructure better. You know, there's good hospitals at the moment in the city. Yeah, maybe the public transport in the city could be improved. That's one area I'd like to see improved. You know, there is song towers that run through the centre, but yeah, they can maybe have a better bus service, I think, running throughout Hua Hin. There's a decent one going back to Bangkok and down south, but in the actual city, I think can be tricky to get around. And I would suggest if you're coming to Hua Hin to travel or, you know, to live here, you know, get a scooter, rent a scooter. You know, it is safe. Just be careful on that main road that runs through Hua Hin. But apart from that main road that runs through Hua Hin, all the backsides, it's very safe to drive around, guys. Oh, guys, just do us a favour. If you're enjoying the video, just press the subscribe button. Really helps the channel, thanks. And back to the video. I was also reading about, which I know about already, the eventual plan to remove the houses and piers on the beach side. And they're saying they're going to create a promenade. Now, this is where, you know, all the old piers are. You know, if you know Hua Hin, you'll know this area near the Chinese temple. I'll put it on the screen now. It's a nice area there. And, you know, I've got a bit of sentimental with that area because I used to stay on them piers, the resorts that go out onto the pier. But I know they're a bit old now, and some people saying they were actually illegal. I don't really know about it that much, but I just know they are knocking them down slowly. And I know a couple of them have been knocked down already. One I used to stay at called Bird. I remember that one, and that's gone already, which I was like, oh, quite sad when I saw that a few years ago. I stayed in there. I mean, we're talking like 15, 17 years ago when I stayed there, but I did stay there quite a bit. It was only like, I think 500 baht a night or something, and it was right on the seafront, and you can literally see the Hilton Hotel there. So you got this great value hotel, and it's like the Hilton's there. They're paying like 5,000-6,000 baht a night, and I'm like 500 baht a night, and I've got the same view. Like, yeah, I've not got a swimming pool, fair enough. And you know, the room's obviously not as good standard, but you know, it was still, I always used to think, God, this is great value, like, you know. And I think some people still stay on them piers, but yeah, not for long. They are definitely on about knocking all them down, and they're going to put a promenade along there. Now, this is what I've read. I don't know 100%. It's just what I've read online. If someone else knows more than I do, let us know in the comments. But apparently they're going to put a promenade all along that area from the Chinese temple up to the other pier, they said, or something like this. So that would be kind of good and bad. It would be sad to see the old fishing village go, but it would be nice to have a nice walking promenade along the beach. That would be cool. Like in Pattaya, they have, you know, they have somewhere like Beach Road where you can walk all the way along. It's kind of cool. It depends how they do it and how cool. Hopefully they'll make a really good job of it, and it'll be fantastic new area. And yeah, it is a bit sad that the old fishing village will be gone. Hopefully they still keep some of the old things there, to keep a bit of tradition of the old past, what, you know, what happened there. But yeah, I don't know. If you know anything more about this, guys, let us know in the comments, because it's what I've read online. I don't really know any more than some of you guys who probably live in Hua Hin, you know, and heard about the knocking down this area and creating a promenade. Some people got strong opinions about it. Put your opinion in the comments, because that always helps the channel out, guys. The more comments, the better. Another thing I want to talk about, and they brought up online when I'm reading about it, they're trying to, you know, manage the monkeys at Monkey Mountain, because there's absolutely loads of these guys. And like if you go right up to the top on the viewpoint that looks out over Hua Hin as well, I can't remember what it's called. You know, there are monkeys everywhere. And the problem is, over the years, everyone's been, you know, everyone kind of feeds the monkeys, and you shouldn't really feed them, and then it really attracts them, and then they, you know, they grab, snatch bags off people, and they become a bit aggressive because of this, and there are a lot. So I think they need to find a way to, and I think they are looking at this. I was reading online about it. They're trying to manage how they manage the monkeys at Monkey Mountain and at Khao Tibiak too, because there's quite a few up around that area as well, and up that top they're quite nasty up there, I think, personally. And we went up the other week, and we fed them. Maybe we shouldn't feed them, but we went with the monk, and because my lads wanted to go and feed them, so I was like, okay. And my missus is like a bit different than me. I probably wouldn't have done that, because my missus said, no, I want to go. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay, take the kids. Okay, feed the monkeys a bit, but you know, kind of a tourist thing to do. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of mixed feelings about the monkeys. I kind of used to love monkeys when I came here. And then the first time on Koh Chang, I remember they came in my room, I remember, on Koh Chang, maybe 15, 17 years ago. I've forgotten how long. But they came into the room, and they nicked all my food, had some bananas in there, they stole. So they are little thieving little gits sometimes. You have to watch them, they're monkeys. And they can be a bit nasty sometimes. I say Thailand monkeys, I think, have got a bit of attitude, like, you know, and I think because there are so many tourists and so many people feeding them as well. Another area as well, we're not really talking about Pattaya, but another area in Pattaya, down in Satahip, they do get quite a few monkeys around that area too, but we're not really talking about round there today. Another thing would be like luxury pool villas. I think there's just going to be more and more of these type of villas in Hua Hin. Like if you look down in Phuket, there's absolutely loads of pool villas. And I think, you know, Hua Hin is kind of going in that direction where there's going to be more and more tourists, more and more expats, more and more retirees moving to this area. There's a surplus of pool villas down in Phuket. You know, the 2 a penny down there. There's a lot for sale and to rent down there. And I think Hua Hin's going in that same direction. You know, people do want, you know, they want a little villa with a nice pool outside for the retirement or to come and live in Thailand. I think a lot of people come that. And people have got 20, 30, 40,000 baht a month to pay for these nice villas to rent, or maybe they're looking at buying as well over here, which is possible in Thailand, whatever everyone else says to you. I think Hua Hin is starting to be branded now, and I was reading this online about, you know, it's branded a bit more. They're trying to brand it as a retirement city. And I think it is. There is a lot of retired people there. And that's kind of perfect. If you're thinking of coming over here to retire, there's people the same age as you, in the same situation as you. It's going to be super easy to make friends there. No one's working, or most people are not working, so everyone's got free time to hang together. I think it's an awesome place to come for that reason. And this is one of the reasons why I suggest Hua Hin and not, you know, going south a lot further. You know, if you go a lot further south, it's nice, it's absolutely beautiful, don't get me wrong. And I think in 5 years it'll be awesome. But at the moment, you've got to keep coming back to Hua Hin all the time because the infrastructure's not quite as good. You know, they haven't got world-class hospitals there. You've got to travel back all the time if you want a lot of Western food for supermarkets and things like this. So I think at the moment, Hua Hin's perfect. Now, 5-10 years, this could completely change. And I think the whole coast will develop down there, and there'll be better infrastructure, more hospitals, more kind of cafes, more bars, more restaurants, more like little suburbs of, you know, expats retiring down there, retirees down there. So there'll be more people, but I think you might be a bit isolated if you live there just at the moment. That's my own personal opinion. Now, some people want isolation. They want to be quiet. They want 20 minutes, half an hour away, really quiet. And then if they want a bit of action, they come back to Hua Hin. And that's great. If that's the kind of lifestyle you're after, that's awesome. And that would actually suit me. I actually like that. I like, you know, a little bit quiet, you know, Monday to Friday. And then the weekend, okay, see a few people, do a few things, bit busy. Okay, I kind of like that kind of 2 different lifestyles. If I have too much all the time, hectic, it's too much. If it's too much quiet in the countryside all the time, it's too much for me. So I think maybe some of you guys are like that too. But yeah, that's something you'll have to decide yourself. I think another area they're going to look at, this is more my own personal opinion, you know, they're going to look at cleaning the beaches up more, you know, keep them cleaner, I think, over the next 5-10 years. Because I think it's going to be more of an issue the more tourists there are there, you know, trying to keep beaches clean. I think they'll have more they'll have more they'll have more cameras up everywhere. You know, that is just Thailand in general. I think that's the world in general. Everywhere's getting more cameras up everywhere in the world. You know, that's just the modern world we live in. And you shouldn't really knock it. It's kind of a good thing. You know, it keeps you safe when you're walking around at night. It's for your own safety, most of it is. Some people argue it's not, they're spying on us, but I don't believe that. I think most of it's like, just, it helps for safety, you know. I think also the government are trying to shift, you know, making people come for like 2 weeks instead of this kind of short-term tourist. I think they're trying to, you know, extend it and getting people to come over here for, you know, longer periods of time. You know, last year they introduced the 60-day, you know, exemption for a lot of people coming over here. And at this time now, it's still 60 days. I don't like telling people because they do change it last minute. And I don't like saying it on one video. And then a week later, they've changed it. I'm like, oh God, that video's like out of date already, you know? So I don't like telling people. People are always asking me online, is it still 60 days? I'm like, Well, I went in the country 2 weeks ago and it was, you know, but they do change things quite regularly. And this 60 to 30 days has changed a couple of times. But at the moment, it's 60 days. So I think they're hopefully going to keep that now, especially with, you know, tourism's been very, very low in Thailand for this low season this year. I think it's made a big impact on the country, so they're really worried. So I think they're going to keep this 60 days to try and keep people coming here. And I think that's what they want. They want longer term kind of retirees, or not just retirees, but they want people coming here for longer periods of time, you know, encouraging people to come for 60 days, which is 2 months. That's not your usual holiday maker. Your usual holiday maker comes for 2 weeks. So that is encouraging people to come here for longer stays instead of like shorter traveling, like longer, slow traveling around the area. You know, maybe going to Hua Hin, Pattaya, South, Bangkok, you know, spending a week in each. So slower, kind of longer travel. I mean, the great development in Hua Hin over the last couple of years has been the train station. I mean, that has been developed and it's fantastic now. You know, you can get from Bangkok to Hua Hin in maybe 3.5 hours instead of 5 before, and it's a great big modern train station in the center, and they have managed to keep the old kind of train station there, like as memory a little bit, but it's a new modern station there, which is a really good addition to the town in the last couple of years. And hopefully they're talking about keep developing that. If you're thinking about coming down to Hua Hin, you can come down on the train now from Bangkok. And Suvarnabhumi Airport now, they do have buses that go from there, but hopefully they're going to increase that. And that's another thing I want to talk about. You know, I think there's only a couple a day now that come down to Hua Hin from Suvarnabhumi. I'm sure that's going to get better, and there's going to be more buses coming down. That's my own personal opinion. That's nothing I've read, but I think that's going to hopefully develop. And, you know, in my eyes, that would be a sensible thing to do, because everyone arrives at the airport and it's like, how do I get to Hua Hin? And it's like, I have to get a taxi. It's like 2,000 baht, you know, jump on a bus, it's like 200 baht. It's, you know, it's a lot better option, but they just need to be more regular. I think they will be more regular when high season, but because like low season, they hardly have any people. It's difficult for the bus company, you know, if there's no people rocking up, how are they going to make money? So it is kind of a double-edged sword a little bit. So, but I'm sure in the high season, they're going to put on more bus services from Suvarnabhumi to Hua Hin. What do you think? Have you caught that bus, guys? I've never caught that bus from Suvarnabhumi to Hua Hin. I know about it. I've stood by the bus station. I've stood where it is. It's Suvarnabhumi, but I've never actually caught it. And I think there's going to be more trendy cafes, you know, nightclubs, bars opening. Like, I mean, bars are always opening and closing. I think there's going to be more like rooftop bars and trendy bars to kind of suit the more wealthier expat. I think some people come to Hua Hin, you know, they're not broke. You know, they've got a good retirement package. They're coming here. They want to live in a nice pool villa or a nice condo here or a nice house. And, you know, they're not on the breadline. They like to go out for a nice restaurant. They want to go to a nice bar. You know, they've kind of got enough income to do these like normal things in life. I think there's a lot of people coming to Hua Hin and Thailand like this. Not everyone's on 30,000 baht, I can assure you, even if you are. No, I think it's like, yeah, I think there's just so many more people coming here with more money, and they just, you know, they want that nicer lifestyle. And then, so they'll accompany that. There'll be more Western food, more Western restaurants, and this kind of thing, guys. Okay, guys, this is also, a lot of this was speculation, okay? I don't know some of this for sure. There are a few things I read online, the ones I actually said when I was reading off a sheet, but some of it's a bit speculation. It's good fun to speculate what might happen. I think personally it's going to be a great area in the future, and they're going to keep developing it. Is it going to get more touristy? For sure. But I think, you know, if you're looking at that area, it's a fantastic area for retirement, for traveling, for anything you want to come to Thailand for. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the next video.